Israel rejects Hamas truce offer, ministers vote to intensify Gaza strikes.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Security Cabinet on Wednesday night approved a plan to intensify military attacks on Hamas and Islamic Jihad targets in the Gaza Strip, after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu informed its members that Israel has officially rejected a Hamas proposal for a ceasefire. Israel dismissed the offer of a truce made earlier in the day via the Russian Foreign Ministry, which quoted a senior Hamas official as saying that the Islamist group was ready to halt attacks on a mutual basis. More than 1,000 rockets were fired from the Gaza Strip at Israel and a third of them fell inside Gaza. Of the remaining 700, half fell in open areas and 90% of the remaining 350 or so rockets were intercepted. Wednesday marked the third consecutive day of rocket fire from Gaza at Israeli population centers, in a round of attacks that began Monday evening with a volley launched at the Jerusalem area after days of clashes in the city between Palestinians and Israeli security forces. On Tuesday night, 2 massive salvos were fired at central Israel, killing one person in Rishon LeZion and a father and his teenage daughter in Lod. Israel has responded to the rockets with repeated air and artillery strikes on what it says were terror targets in Gaza. The death toll in Gaza rose Wednesday to 53, including 14 children, according to the health ministry in the Hamas-run enclave.
This post received a score of 10,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
So this is going to drag on for 3 more weeks until Netanyahu can get re-elected? Politicians are filthy animals.
He has to keep this up till the deadline of 28 days for opposition parties passes. Since Ra'am is affiliated ideologically with Hamas, and Abbas could not afford to sign coalition deals with Israel while government forces were clashing with his brothers in Gaza. Ra'am officials have said that until the violence stops, the negotiations would not resume. All Netanyahu has to do is keep up the clashes with Hamas for 3 more weeks to the heightened sentiments. Will ensure that Netanyahu easily wins the election this time.
Rally _ round _ the _flag _ effect. Greater than the rally, round the flag, effect, or syndrome, is a concept used in political science and international relations to explain increased short-run popular support of a country's government or political leaders during periods of international crisis or war. Because the effect can reduce criticism of governmental policies, it can be seen as a factor of diversionary foreign policy. FAQ, opt-out of subreddit, GitHub. Downvote to remove, credit, kittens _ from _ space.
I watched a few stories on IG, etc. of the missile strikes the other night, and it's just regular people in their backyards that look just like an American's, except there are missiles and anti-air exploding in the sky above it. And they're voting to intensify the attacks? What a fucking nightmare.
They aren't, and it was never a ceasefire. The conditions would only end the rock throwing. No fist fights, only rockets and bombs.
70% of Israelis support a two-state solution. And yet, the 30% are the ones currently operating in power. It's absolutely horrifying and sad. With that said, you damn well know that if America got 30 missiles lobbed at New York every day for a week, we wouldn't be taking a mutual truce. We'd probably be invading the country, stripping it for oil, and then killing tens of thousands of people.
And on the other side,
we need to be honest here and understand that right now, the education in Palestine is heavily propagandized against Israel and this is an important and against Jewish people as a whole. While education on Palestine is far from great in Israel, there are stringent laws against spreading hate speech about Palestinians and Muslims in general. This issue isn't because Palestinians are inherently more violent or any of that nonsense. The nationalists of Israel will push for colonizing more land, and the extremists of the Hamas would push to reclaim Israel.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.